Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, still a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my Tampa Bay Lightning historical challenge. Alright, so we are doing a lot better this season than in past seasons. Some of the moves that I have done for the team has turned out to be good. That's a nice change of pace. And as a result, at the start of the year 2000, we survived the turn of the millennium. We are atop the standings in the East with 50 points. Now, of course, Pittsburgh is right behind us, and it's not a done deal or anything, but right now we are first. So that's pretty cool. We are also relatively healthy. Only Boris Mironov is hurt for a short while here, and he should come back soon. And as usual, I check the trading block, even though I cannot afford much of anything anymore. There's not a whole lot out there. The best player available is Yaroslav Spacek, and I think I'm set on D. So, we are going to keep the team as is, and we are going to trudge through January of 2000 here, which looks like is going to be a road trip to start, and then a pretty long homestead, and then we're going to hit the road again, apparently. So, something along those lines. So, yeah. Alright, so I hope you're ready here. Hopefully ready for greatness, because I think we are going to accomplish great things. Or at least that's what I hope. Alright, folks, let's get started here. So we are playing today, actually. We're going to be in Florida, so we're going to play in Florida against our neighbors, and then we're flying across basically the entire continent, and we're going to be playing our yearly Canadian Western Canadian road trip. Wow, words are difficult right now. Alright, so right now we are in Florida, so we're going to be playing the Panthers. They are 14, 18, and 4. That's good for 11th in the East. We are 1-0 against the Panthers this season. It was a 5-3 victory at home. Alright, so we're going to have Nikolai Bibulin in net for that game, and the Panthers are going to send Andre Mazin. And of course, go Lightning, go! Well, we started with a loss, so that's not good. That's against a lesser team. We should have won that, so we lost 3-2 here in Florida, despite outshooting them 42-20. So yeah, Habibulin didn't quite played up to par here. So Prokopiev was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Bill Guerin was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Andre Mazin was the third star with 40 saves. Florida opened up the scoring in the first period. It was 1-0 Florida after 1. Then in the second period, Bill Guerin tied the game with a power play goal from Matt Sundin and Ryan Smith. It was tied at 1, and then Florida took the lead again. It was 2-1 Florida after 2. Then in the third period, they took a 3-1 lead, and then we had Keith Kitchuk reduce the lead to 1, assisted by Bill Guerin and Matt Sundin. It was 3-2 Florida. We just couldn't tie the game in that one. We got out-goalied by Andre Mazin. Alright, Chris Taylor is available on waivers. William Davidson, our owner, is satisfied with my work. We went 7-3-1, including yesterday's game. Alright, and now we have a few days off. We are flying all the way to Vancouver. At least I hope we're flying all the way to Vancouver to play the Canucks. Chris Chelios is suspended in Chicago. He's going to miss 6 games. Larry Murphy played in 1,500 games in his career. Celebrated that with 2 goals against the Detroit Red Wings. Larry Murphy is 38, and he is still a 3-star player. Alright. Right, Josef Stumpel keeps fans on their feet all night. He had a hat trick against the Islanders. Right, so we are now in Vancouver to play the Canucks. They are 16, 17, and 4, and we are 1-0 against them this season. We did beat them at home 5-1 earlier this season. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can beat them on the road. So we're gonna have Johan Edberg in net for that game. John Van Beesbrook is gonna be in net for the Canucks. That's another loss here. That's not good, and that one is really not good. We lost 5-1. Alright, so we outshot the Canucks 43-35. Luc Robitaille was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. John Van Beesbrook was the second star with 42 saves. And Trevor Linden was the third star with a goal and an assist. So Vancouver scored 3 times in the first period. And just like that, it was 3-0 Vancouver. Then they took a 5-0 lead into the second period, and then Keith Tkachuk scored from Matt Sundin and Francis Bouillon. It was 5-1 after 2. Went into the third period, down 4. Nobody else scored. We lost that 5-1, so we're on a little bit of a losing streak right now. I don't like that. Luc Robitaille keeps fans on their feet all night. We saw that 3 goals and an assist against us. And Mike Sullivan is back from suspension with the Sharks. Ray Bourque is back from suspension in Boston, back in the lineup over there. That's definitely good for them. And a night to remember for Sergei Fedorov. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Nashville Predators. Alright, so we are now in Edmonton to play the Oilers. They are 14, 22, and 5. We have not played them this season. Let's take a look. Jean-Sébastien Giguère is hurt. He's not going to be playing this game. So in net, they have Dwayne Roloson and Fetikov. Leonid Fetikov. Then on D, they have Hal Gill, Dave Manson, Sikora Witt, Pitlick, Woolley Levens. Not the most mobile D there. Todd Bertuzzi, Kirk Maltby, Barrett Moore, Ethan Morrow, Josef Beranek, Brent Gilchrist, Esa Tikkanen, Darcy Tucker, Patrick Stefan, Kelly Buckberger, Nelson Emerson, Scott Melandy, Joe Murphy, and I think that's Brad Smith, I think. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can beat Edmonton at least. Get ourselves back on track. So we're going to go back to Edberg for that game, and he's going to be facing Leonid Fetikov, whom I've never heard of. And we won this one 7-4. All right, back in the winning column. I like that. All right, so we outshot Edmonton 45-33. Matt Sundin was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 3 assists. Keith Tkachuk was the second star with 2 goals and an assist, and Bill Guerin was the third star with 3 assists. Alright, so we open up the scoring in the first. That was Martin Straka scoring his 10th on the power play from Sergei Gonchar and Vyacheslav Kozlov. It was 1-0, but Edmonton tied the game about 5 minutes later. It was tied at 1. Then Matt Sundin scored his 20th from Bill Guerin and Keith Tkachuk. And then Brian Rafalski scored his 5th on the power play from Matt Sundin. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second, Steve Richin scored from Vili Peltonen and Vyacheslav Kozlov. And then Scott Young from Ed Jovanovski and Martin Straka. It was 5-1. The Oilers scored, made it 5-2. So we were up 3 heading into the third period. Keith Tkachuk scored from Matt Sundin and Bill Guerin, made it 6-2. Then the Oilers scored twice. It was 6-4 with a little less than 5 minutes to go, but with 43 seconds left to go in the game, Keith Tkachuk scored from Bill Guerin and Matt Sundin, 7-4. The final score. Oh, we had a fight too in the third period. Kelly Buckberger and Bill Guerin got at it. Michael Enzus is day-to-day, and Sergei Gonchar is hurt. I don't like that. I paid a hefty price for him. He's day-to-day, okay. Alright, so what the... A jammed finger. Okay, I can deal with that. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Oleg Tverdovsky with the Carolina Hurricanes. He had 4 assists against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. And Boris Mironov is feeling better, so he might just slide in for Gonchar here. Right, so we're playing in Calgary right away. So the Flames are 21-15-5. And we are 1-0 against Calgary. We trounced them at home 9-2. I'm sure they're going to want to avenge that, so they're probably going to be a little tougher to beat here. We're gonna go with Nikolai Abibulin in net for that one. Andrei Tsariyov is gonna be in net for the Flames. And we won 5-2. Alright, 2 games in 2 nights, 2 pretty nice victories here. That one was a little tighter in shots. We outshot Calgary 34-31. Bill Guerin, yet again, a good game. Yeah, he was the first star with 2 assists. Matt Sundin was the second star with 2 goals. And Rob Blake was the third star with a goal and an assist. Matt Sundin opened up the scoring in the first from Bill Guerin and Rob Blake. And then the Flames tied the game. It was tied at 1 after 1. Nobody scored in the second period. And we scored 3 unanswered in the third. Brian Rafalski scored from Teppo Numinen and Martin Straka. Matt Sundin on the power play from Martin Straka and Bill Guerin. And then Rob Blake from Vili Peltonen and Vyacheslav Kozlov. It was 4-1 Tampa Bay. Calgary scored, made it 4-2. And then Ryan Smith sealed the deal in an empty net from Steve Richin and Scott Young. 5-2 the final score. We had another fight in the third period, this time between PJ Stock and Keith Kachuk. Alright, and now we're going back at home for 5 games. So it's gonna be in a couple days. We have a couple days off here. Owen Nolan extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal and an assist against the Blackhawks. Boris Mironov is completely recovered. Right, and Gonchar is feeling better already. That's good. That's good. Now we're gonna host the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils are 18-6. That's good for 8 in the East. We are 1-0 against the Devils. We won in New Jersey earlier this season 4-2. Alright, so Martin Brodeur is going to be in net for the Devils. We are going to go with Johan Edberg. And we lost that one 4-1. Alright, so we are 2-3 so far this month. Not great. Alright, so we outshot the Devils 30-24 in that one. Scott Niedermayer was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Claude Lemieux was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Peter Sikaro was the third star with 2 assists. 14,287 in people in attendance for this game. We open up the scoring in the first period. Ryan Smith scored his 10th on the power play from Sergei Gonchar. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay. And then New Jersey scored twice in the second and then twice in the third. And we had a fight yet again in the third period. Francis Bouillon and Brian Scrudlin got into a scrap. Alright, so Claude Lemieux has produced 300 goals in his career. That happened against us. He had a goal and an assist in that game. So Claude Lemieux is 34 and he is still a 3-star player. Owen Nolan's point streak ended at 12 games. He was held scoreless against the Nashville Predators. And Gonchar is still doing better. And Gonchar is completely recovered now. And Luc Robitaille played in 1,000 games in his career. He didn't get a point. That happened against Chicago. Luc Robitaille is 33 and a 4-star player. Alright, we are now hosting the New York Islanders. Islanders are 20-18-3. That's good for 7th in the East. We are 0-1 against the Islanders. We did lose 3-2. It was at home as well against them earlier. We need to bounce back here. We're not doing all that great. Glenn Ely is going to be in net for the Islanders. Johan Edberg in net for us. 3 fires for each goaltender. We won that game 3-2. All right. We outshot the Islanders 39-28. Martin Straka was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Radek Bonk was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Scott Young was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. 15,189 people in attendance for the game. The Islanders scored twice in the first period. And then Ryan Smith scored from Scott Young and Martin Straka. It was 2-1 Islanders after 1. Then we scored twice in the second period. Rob Blake scored from Martin Straka and Sergei Gonchar, and then Scott Young from Martin Straka and Sergei Gonchar as well. It was 3-2 Tampa Bay at that point. Nobody scored in the third, and finally a third period without a fight. And we held on to the 1-goal lead, and we won 3-2. Suspension for Igor Ulanov with the Bruins. He's going to miss 5 games. A memorable game for Mario Lemieux. He had 3 goals and an assist against Colorado. Alright. And Michael Anzus is completely recovered, so we have no more injuries at the moment. Alright, so we are going to be hosting the Florida Panthers, whom we just faced in Florida to start the month, and we lost that game. Now Florida right now is 17-21-4. That's good for 10th in the East. I believe that's where they were earlier when we faced them. 1-1 against Florida this season. Come on, guys. Jose Theodore is going to be in net for Florida. We're going to go to Johan Edberg. And we lost 3-2 again. We're not having a good month. Our goaltenders are not doing the job. Of course, my goaltenders are not all that great. So, yeah. Alright, so we outshot Florida 42-23 in that one. Patrick Schellberg was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Matt Sundin was the second star with an assist. Jose Theodore was the third star with 40 saves. 14,029 people in attendance for this game. Florida opened up the scoring in the first period. It was 1-0 Florida after 1. There was a fight between Bill Guerin and Dave Lowry. Then in the second period, the Panthers scored again, made it 2-0. Then Michael Anzus scored from Marcus Naslund and Rob Blake. It was 2-1 Florida after 2. Florida made it 3-1, and then Brian Rafalski scored from Steve Ruchin and Matt Sundin. It was 3-2 with a little bit more than 8 minutes left to go in the game, and we just couldn't tie it before the end, so we lost 3-2. Right, Chris Chelios is back from suspension in Chicago, back in the lineup over there. A night to remember for Eric Lindros. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Devils, and Ray Whitney extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals against the Kings. Alright, so we are playing the worst team in the East, the Washington Capitals. They are 8-27-7, and we are 1-0 against them this season. We won 6-1 in Washington. There is no reason for us to lose this game. I am expecting a W. Craig Biddington is going to be in net for the Caps. We are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. And we won 5-2. Alright. So it looks like we lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1. That's been pretty much the pattern so far. We outshot Washington 41-22 in that game. Vyacheslav Kozlov was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Ryan Smith was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Steve Ruchin was the third star with 2 assists. 14,298 people in attendance for the game. Ryan Smith opened up the scoring in the first. That was a power play goal from Alexander McGillney and Steve Ruchin. Then Vili Peltonen from Steve Ruchin and Ryan Smith, 2-0. Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, the Caps scored, made it 2-1, and then Martin Straka scored from Vyacheslav Kozlov. It was 3-1 after 2. Then Rob Blake scored in the third period from Vyacheslav Kozlov and Scott Young, made it 4-1. Then the Caps made it 4-2, and then finally Martin Straka scored on the power play from Vyacheslav Kozlov and Brian Rafalski. It was a 5-2 victory for the Lightning. And Steve Ruchin is hurt. He's out for 3 weeks. All right. Strained biceps. All right. Out 3 weeks. Memorable night for Pavel Dimitra playing in Ottawa. He had 4 goals against the Islanders. That's pretty good. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Jamie Langen-Brunner, who had 4 assists in that same game. And in that same game, still Pierre Turgeon had 3 goals and an assist for the Islanders. Alright, so we have to take care of Steve Ruchin being hurt. And we are going to recall. Recall Sergei Varlamov. I am not really expecting for him to play very much, but there we have it. Yeah, like I'm gonna give you Rob Blake's number. Here's 71. Oh, Leonid Fetikov has been put on waivers by the Oilers. We faced him. Pierre Turgeon is hurt against Montreal. He's going to miss 4 weeks with fractured ribs. And in that same game, Vincent Danfous racked up 300 goals in his career with a goal. Vincent Danfous is 32 years old, 3.5-star player, so... Alright, so we are now going to be facing the Boston Bruins. Boston is 20, 22, and 5. That's good for 8 in the East. We played Boston in Boston earlier. It was a 6-5 overtime loss against them. Stefan Fiset is going to be in net for Boston. He has 5 fires. We're going to send Johan Edberg. He has only 2 fires. And we won 4-1. Fires be damned. Oh yeah, we outshot Boston 40-14 in that game. Vyacheslav Kozlov was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Vili Peltonen was the second star with 2 assists. And Matt Sundin was the third star with 2 goals as well. 14,437 people in attendance for the game. Right, Matt Sundin opened up the scoring in the first from Boris Mironov, and it was a 1-0 affair for the Lightning at that point. Then in the second period, Boston tied the game. It was tied at 1, heading into the third period, where we scored 3 unanswered goals. Vyacheslav Kozlov scored from Michael Anzus and Vili Peltonen. Then Matt Sundin from Keith Kitchuk and Bill Guerin. And then Vyacheslav Kozlov scored his 15th from Rob Blake and Vili Peltonen. 4-1 Tampa Bay, the final score. Oh, and the guy that I just recalled just got hurt. He's day-to-day. So that's not the end of the world, but yeah. Oh, that was Matt Sundin 600 points in his career with those 2 goals. Matt Sundin is 28 and he is a 4.5 star player. Yeah, the guy that I recalled is hurt. Right, Scott Stevens not suspended with the Atlanta Thrashers. And Steve Ruchin is ready to return to practice. Alright, we're about to play the Islanders. That's going to be in Uniondale this time. The Islanders are 21, 22, and 3. They are now 8 in the East. We are 1-1 against the Islanders. So it looks like we're going to hit the road again for 3 games. And then we're going to finish the month at home with 2 games. So we have 5 games left for the month of January 2000. Nikolai Bibulin in net for us. Glenn Ely in net for the Islanders. Oh yeah, we won 6-1 this one. We also outshot the Islanders 44-16. Marcus Naslund was the first of the game. He had 2 goals. Brian Rafalski was the second star with 2 assists. And Keith Kitchuk was the third star with a goal and an assist. So the Islanders scored first in the first period, and then Keith Kitchuk scored his 15th from Scott Young and Brian Rafalski, then Marcus Naslund from Rob Blake and Alexander McGillney, 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second, Martin Straka scored on the power play from Vyacheslav Kozlov, and then Bill Guerin scored on the power play as well from Matt Sundin. It was 4-1 Tampa Bay after 2. And we added 2 more goals in the third period. Marcus Naslund scored from Brian Rafalski and Boris Mironov, and then Teppo Numinen scored his 5th on the power play from Keith Kitchuk. It was a 6-1 victory. Bob Basson has been put on waivers. I will not pick him up. No further action needed for Carolina's Andrew Castles. So not suspended over there. Suspension is over for Ulanov, so he's back with Boston. Chris Pronger is suspended with the Sens. He's going to miss 3 games. Matt Sundin is day-to-day. He has some cramps. He can play with the cramps, that's fine. Says the guy sitting in his chair over there that doesn't have to do anything. Alright, we are in Washington to play against the Capitals. So they are now 8-30-7. They are still dead last in the East. We are 2-0 against Washington this season. Johan Edberg is going to be in net for us. Olaf Kolzig is going to be in net for the Caps. And we won this 6-3. We outshot Washington 45-27 in that one. Rob Blake, first star with a goal and 2 assists. Keith Kitchuk was the second star with 2 assists. Sergei Gonchar was the third star against his former team with 2 assists as well. So Bill Guerin opened up the scoring in the first from Sergei Gonchar and Rob Blake. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second, Washington tied it. Then Ryan Smith scored from Scott Young and Rob Blake. Then Ed Jovanovski from Michael Lanzus and Boris Mironov. And then Rob Blake from Martin Straka made it 4-1. Washington scored 5 seconds later, made it 4-2. And then before the end of the period, we had one more. Bill Guerin from Keith Kitchuk and Brian Rafalski. It was 5-2 after 2. We also had a fight between Georges Larac and Keith Kitchuk. Then Scott Young scored in the third period. That was his 10th of the season from Keith Kitchuk and Sergei Gonchar, 6-2. Then they added a goal with 12 seconds left to go in the game, made it 6-3, but that was way too little and too late. And we won this 6-3. Lyle O'Deline is suspended with the Trashers. He's going to miss 3 games. Bob Belmore might be in trouble in Boston as the head coach. So Boston is 20-25-5, so it looks like he might pay the price for his team having a bad season so far. And there was no stopping John LeClaire, who had a hat trick against the Hurricanes. Alright, so we are going to be in Buffalo now, playing against the Sabres. Sabres are 18-26-4. That's good for 13th in the East. However, it's a team we are struggling against. We are 1-2 this season against the Sabres. Nikolai Abibulin is going to be in net for us. Dominik Hasek is going to be in net for Buffalo. And we lost 3-2. We continue to struggle against the Sabres for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, I see why. That's because Abibulin sucks. We outshot Buffalo 51-18, and we lost 3-2. Jason Daw was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Scott Young was the second star with 2 goals, and Dominik Hasek was the third star with 49 saves. So Buffalo scored first in the first period. And then that held all the way till the end of the second period, where Scott Young scored 2 goals in 23 seconds. 25 seconds, sorry. So the first one from Martin Straka and Brian Rafalski, and then the second one from Keith Ketchuk and Martin Straka. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 2. And then Buffalo scored twice in the third period, and we lost 3-2. That's pretty much it. Memorable game for Martin Ruzinski. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Sharks. Trevor Linden got 500 assists in his career. He had a goal and an assist against the Oilers. Trevor Linden is 29. He is a 3-star player. Sergei Varlamov is feeling better. We have a couple days off, and then we're going to play 2 games in 2 nights at home. The first one against the Oilers. Injury puts Patrick Elias on the sidelines for the Kings. He's going to miss 4 weeks. Got hurt against Dallas. German Titov is suspended. Look at that. Former Tampa Bay Lightning German Titov suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Alright, so Varlamov still feeling better. Matt Sundin feeling better. Sergei Nomovs, whom I've never heard of, has been put on waivers by the Blues. Sergei Varlamov is close to returning, and Matt Sundin said that he is ready to resume action. Alright, Edmonton in town. They are 16-27-6. We played them at the start of the month, and we beat them 7-4. I remember that very vividly. That was the first win of the month. Jean-Sébastien Giguère is back from injury, apparently. He's going to be in net for Edmonton. Johan Edberg is going to be in net for us. Oh, 4-0 victory shutout for the Moose. Johan Edberg. 44-23 the shots in favor of Tampa Bay. Vyacheslav Kozlov was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Brian Rafalski was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Martin Straka was the third star with 2 assists. 15,299 people in attendance for this game. Ryan Smith opened up the scoring in the first period. That was a power play tally from Martin Straka, and then Vyacheslav Kozlov from Scott Young and Ryan Smith. 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Vyacheslav Kozlov scored from Brian Rafalski and Vili Peltonen. It was 3-0 Tampa Bay. And finally, we added our fourth goal in the third period. Brian Rafalski from Bill Guerin and Martin Straka, 4-0. There was a fight between Keith Kitchuk and Ethan Morrow. And that was it, folks. Nice little game here. Chris Pronger is back from suspension in Ottawa. Sergei Fedorov had a good game. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Flames. And Sergei Varlamov is ready to go. Lucky him. Alright, so the last game of the month is going to be at home against the Atlanta Thrashers. We are 2-1-1 against the Thrashers this season, who are 16-25-7. That's good for 14th in the East. Roman Turek is going to be in net for them. We are going to go with Johan Edberg. And it is a 3-1 victory to end the month. Alright, so I think that barely gives us a winning month, but I lost track a little bit, but I think we're 1 or 2 games above 500. We outshot Atlanta 39-24. Brian Rafalski was the first star of the game with 2 assists. Vinny Prospal, was the second star with an assist, and Matt Sundin was the third star with a goal. 14,054 people in attendance for this game. Alright, nobody scored in the first period. Then in the second, Matt Sundin scored his 25th from Marcus Naslund and Brian Rafalski. Then Vyacheslav Kozlov from Brian Rafalski and Boris Mironov. It was 2-0. Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, Martin Straka scored from Keith Kitchuk and Bill Guerin, made it 3-0. And then Atlanta scored a little bit later to take a shutout away from us, and we won 3-1. Alright, Dave Manson is suspended in Edmonton. He's going to miss 7 games. Jeff O'Neill lights the lamp in Montreal. He had a hat-trick against the Flyers. Gary Suter played in 1,000 games in his career for the Flames. That was against Nashville. Gary Suter didn't get a point in that game. He is 35 and a 2-star player. And no further discipline for Los Angeles. Todd Marchand, he is not suspended over there. Wow, Montreal is doing better or something lately. John Leclerc has a great game. He had a hat-trick again against the Hurricane. What, isn't it the second hat-trick against the Hurricanes this month? I think it is. Alright. And we are the 31st, so I'm going to go ahead and sim one more day. There we go. Mario Lemieux has a great game. He had 4 goals against the Thrashers. Yeah, that's a pretty good game. Suspension over for Lyle O'Deline in Atlanta. He is back in the lineup. Derek Morris is suspended with the Kings. He's going to miss 5 games. And the players of the month were named. It is Mario Lemieux and Martin Biron. Oh, Martin Biron. Former Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so not the best month, but I think we kind of made up for it near the end there. We won some games, so that's definitely good. Yeah, let's take a look here. So we are second in the East now. We are 3 points behind Pittsburgh. We have a game on. We have 10 points ahead of Carolina, which is the closest in our division, so we have a decent lead there, and we have 3 games on them too. So yeah, looks like we're in a decent position here. That's pretty good. That's what we want to see. In the West, we have Colorado, that's first. Oh, they overtook San Jose. San Jose was doing really good. Now San Jose is second. Detroit, Dallas, Vancouver, LA, Calgary, and St. Louis. And the worst team in the league is still by far the Washington Capitals. Every sim, folks, every sim. I know I say it a lot, But it doesn't matter what I do, the Caps always suck. Alright, so let's take a look at our stats here. I'm a little curious. Alright, so Sundin is still above a point per game, 57 points in 49 games. Kozlov is 40 and 49, Straka 39 and 49. Rob Blake is still our best defenseman, 37 and 45. That's close to a point per game for a defenseman. That's really good. Gonchar 31 and 41. That's pretty decent as well. So overall, we have pretty decent stats. Now let's see how we stack up against the rest of the league. So the best goal scorer is Mario Lemieux with 32. Sundin is 9th with 25, tied with Travis Green. Best passer is Joe Sakic with 56 assists. And the best scorer is Jaromir Jagr with 74 points. That's one more than Sakic. And we have Matt Sundin, that's 7th with 57. Oh, he's tied with Pavel Bure, Adam Oates, and Paul Coffey. Wow, Paul Coffey is having one heck of a season there. Now we're going to look at the goalie leaders, but we're not going to see our guys here. They are not doing good enough to be anywhere there. Yeah, Jean-Sébastien Giguère has the highest save percentage, and Mika Kiprusov has the most goals saved above average. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game, and that's another quicker video. I'm doing better at not making them an hour long, I guess. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here for today. So as usual, I would like to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video and you would like to help support me and my channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.